Hi everyone, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a video tutorial um, for setting up and getting ready for your group project. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share here with you to our course. So as you guys know, our group project is coming up. You guys had a group introduction, discussion boards, and we are right now currently in week 4. So what I want to specify is that this project is actually due in week 6, but I'm giving you guys plenty of advance notice and opportunity to start talking about it with your group, having discussions about it, um, so that way you can actually get started. So I realized that even though we're in week 4 and we are currently focused on chapter 3, which is indoor safety, we haven't covered a lot of the content yet related to this project. What my goal is for you to discuss, so in week 4, you will notice at the end of the week, Sunday, September 22nd, that there is a group discussion board, and I've clearly stated on here that this actually isn't due until September 25th. I put it here at the end of the week for those of you that might want to already start having that conversation. I'm trying to be mindful of the fact that I know that you guys have a lot on your plates, you're taking other courses, you've got families and those kinds of things. So I want you to be able to have the opportunity to start thinking about this project, talking about it, having a discussion in your group. And so what I did is I copied this group discussion board and I've placed it at the end of week 4. But then even though you guys can't see week 5 yet, it's due on Wednesday, September 25th, and you'll see it in next week's module, week 5's module. So it's going to be the exact same discussion board, and you will be able to go here and pick right back up. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to work ahead and start thinking about it. So you don't actually have to respond to it until Wednesday, the 25th. And it is graded, so you'll get points that you entered it and that you participated. But again, I just put it here for those of you that might want to look ahead. Okay, so I really want to specify that because I've gotten some emails already with confusion on that. But when you actually click on this group discussion board, now, mind you, we're in my view, so it looks a little bit different than yours. This is what you will notice. You will see the prompt talking about that this is just a group discussion board for you and your group members to start discussing. And then I clearly identified that this project is due at the end of week 6. And then I put that for your convenience, I have copied the instructions here so that you can start looking and reading over the actual assignment and then have a conversation with your group members. Right here at the end of the assignment, you'll click reply and reply to your group mates and say, hey, let's start talking about this. What do you guys think? Those types of things. My other hope is that in this group discussion, you will share things like your availability, what's easiest for you to work and communicate. I also would hope that you would discuss possibly even what type of emergency your group would want to do. Now, again, we haven't covered this content. That will be week 6. But you are welcome to look ahead to chapter 5 in your book to skim over some of this. So maybe that will help you in having the discussion. But what I mean by different types of emergencies, there's fire emergencies, natural disaster, active shooter type things, or stranger on campus, those types of things. So you guys could early on have that talk of well, what do you think we should do? Should we do it on a fire drill? Should we do it on a hurricane? You know, those types of things. You guys could pick that in advance in this discussion as well. So I'm just putting that out there. The other thing in this discussion board is it would be great if you shared with each other some of your strengths, and finding out who in your group is really strong at building PowerPoints or putting them together, formatting, those types of things. Who's going to be the person that will actually upload the project. Only one of you needs to upload it in your group. So you may want to distinguish that early on in this discussion board. Those are all things that you could talk about without knowing the content yet of the actual chapter and the actual project. So there's a lot that you guys could be discussing in the meantime in this discussion board. So again, one of the reasons why I'm giving it to you early and in advance so you have plenty of time. This project, as I mentioned before, is due at the end of week 6, which is October 8th. So you have plenty of time. The other thing I want to specify is that in week 6, this is pretty much the main focus of what you're doing that week. So other than a discussion board topic in week 6, and then that, and then you're going to have your safety quiz. It's our quiz that wraps up this section of our course. It'll be a 15 question quiz, combining content from the first 5 chapters. Other than that, you're not having any other assignments, and you'll have a video lecture in week 6 as well, discussing emergency preparedness and plans. So your whole focus that week will essentially be on this topic and your project. So you'll have plenty of time and be able to focus on it. But like I said, I want to make sure that you guys have ample opportunity to do that. Okay, so that is the group discussion board that you will see both at the end of week 4 and in week 5. So the end of week 4 right here, and then week 5 you will see it again here. It's just a copy of the exact same one, but it is due for you to respond by the 25th. There. So now a couple of things I want to go over: group projects and how they work, and your group boards or your group page. So on the far left of your Canvas navigation bar, now that you've been placed into groups, you should now see this little icon, and if you scroll over it, it'll say groups. You should be able to click on this icon, and what will pop up is a list of any groups that you have been placed in. Again, I want to remind you that we are currently in my view. These are my groups that I've been placed in. But your group will be listed here, and then any other groups that you've been placed in other courses will show there as well. So keep that in mind. And then this is a live link, and so you should be able to click on that on your group, and it's going to take you directly to your group page. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. But I want to show you another way that you can locate your group, as well as that discussion board. So of course, I've pinned the discussion board for you for your convenience in the modules, but I want to also show you another way to get to your group area and where you would also see that group discussion board. So on the left of our course navigation list, you will see people. So if you click on people, you will then also be able to find an area where it says group projects. So you're going to click on that, and you will see a list of, you will see your group will be placed there. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use group 1 as an example, but you'll be able to go into your group's page or home page. So right now I clicked in and I'm inside of group 1. Each of your group's pages will look like this. There's not a whole lot here, but there's a lot of areas that you as your group can use to work together on this project. So one of the important features, and you'll see that a lot of these items in the list look very similar to ones inside of our course, but I want to stress that we are currently not inside of our course. We're in group 1's page. So you have a home button, which we're on. And then below that, you have announcements. So just like I do announcements for you guys, you will be able to do announcements to each other, to your whole group. So let's say one of you wanted to shoot out an announcement to your group saying, let's start discussing our topic. I don't know. You would actually hit the announcement button, and you yourselves can actually create these announcements. And so you can title it whatever you want, leave your body of your announcement there, and then you just hit save. Save is what actually sends the announcement out to your group members. So I'm going to cancel that because I don't want that announcement to go out to group 1. But so you guys have control over this announcement button and can actually use that feature. Another area that is important is the people tab again. This will give you a list of the group members that are in that group. It also will, below that, you'll see discussions. So what you'll see are the discussion boards that your group has already started to do. So you guys had your group introduction. That discussion board is right here. So if you ever wanted to go back to any of those, rather than having to go back to the module that it was placed in for your convenience, you can just come here and see all of your discussion boards. Another feature in your group page is files. This is an area where you guys can upload files, post them here, and share with your whole group. So this absolutely is something that you could do for this project as well as your other group project that you guys have coming up in a few weeks for food allergies. But you can upload files here, you can upload pictures. So if there's something you want to add to the PowerPoint that you're making for this project, maybe you find a really good image of a fire truck or a natural disaster or something like that, you can upload it here, share to your group, and then everybody knows about it and can go and it can be added into your project. So this is just an area that you can upload files. And then you'll see an area, it's listed at the very bottom, and it's called collaborations. So I'm going to click on that. And this is my recommendation to you guys as a group, that you use this section to create your group projects. Now, again, this is a recommendation. I do strongly recommend it, but I'm not requiring it. There's a few reasons that I am recommending this area. So the first is that when you use this area, it's going to utilize Google Documents or Google's different features that Google has. It will require that you have a Google account or like a Gmail. So if you don't, and your group chooses to use collaboration area in your group page, then you will need to sign up for a free Gmail or Google account. It's not a big deal. It's free. You go in, create that email really quick, and now you'll have access. So for this collaboration, I suggest that you have it selected to Google Docs or apps. It doesn't matter too much that I believe, but I would say start with the Docs, and then later I think you can go in and actually change to a slide, which is Google's version of PowerPoint. They call it slides. Anyway, so Only one person in your group needs to do this. So again, this can be part of that group discussion. If you have somebody who's already familiar with Google and has used these types of things, share that, and then make that person the person that comes and creates your document, essentially. So you select Google Docs here, and then right here, you're gonna name your document. So this is, this assignment is emergency preparedness or emergency plan. Or I think I named it emergency policies plan or something like that. But anyway, whatever you want to name it here. And then what you want to do is select all the people that you want to collaborate with. So to do that, and it tells you right here, click or tap the user to add to the group from this left column. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually do that. So I do recommend that you add me, and then you just click on each of your group members. So again, sorry, group one, I'm using you as our example. You slide down and then you hit start collaborating. Now I'm not going to actually do this because that might mess up group one. But once you do that, then you're able to select, it's going to take you to another page that looks similar. It's also going to let you know if any of these people don't have access to Google, but it's really important that each of your members do, because now once on the next page, you will pick your type of document, and that's where you're going to select your presentation or your slides. And then now everybody in your group has access to that document, and then you all can be working on one shared collaborative project, and you're not having to send or email or send back and forth or upload different versions of your project to each other. You each will work individually on it, put your slides in, do your part that you've divided up, whatever it might be, add whatever photos, whatever, and you guys will all be able to access and look at the same thing, and it's live. So it auto saves everything that you do, and then it tracks your participation and all of that. And so that is why I ask you to add me to the collaboration, is only in the event that there's an issue. Then I'm able to go back and I can actually see and be able to grade your group according and really be fair in my grading. So that is an important piece, and also one of the reasons that I recommend Google Docs, because it does track participation. So that would be my suggestion, is that you guys utilize this. That way you can each be working at home on your own project, and then you can add your work, and nobody is left out or potentially misses the email with the most latest version, that kind of thing. So it's just a nicer, cleaner way of collaborating with your group members. So I hope that this is informational. The other thing, if you really wanted to, maybe when you start discussing about this in your group, if you feel like your group would like to arrange a Zoom meeting with me, we could do that, and I could actually help you get started, and we could screen share. One of you could actually start the project, so that way everybody has access, and we could all do it together. I am happy to do that. I do ask, though, that you start early with sending me those types of emails, so that we can create a Zoom meeting and find a day and time that works best for most of us. I also could record it and be able to play back and post for you guys in your group page, so anybody who is not able to attend it could replay the video and watch the discussion. So that is an option for you, so keep that in mind. Another opportunity is that you can actually come to any of my Zoom office hours, and I can hold a brief conversation, but I have to give precedence to people who are logging in who actually have questions related to course assignments and things like that, or grades first, but I'm happy to do that. So again, guys, I'm hoping that this information helped you. And then from here, you can actually toggle back out, or it's called a breadcrumb trail, go right back out and land back inside of our course. All right, guys, well, that is it for this video around the group projects, working together on your group project, and hopefully this answered a lot of your questions for this coming up group assignment, but also important information for your future group projects as well. So yeah, I hope that you guys, I know you're going to do great. And like I said, I'm giving you plenty of advanced notice on the assignment so that way you can start looking ahead. But just know that week 6 is completely devoted to this topic. So I think you guys will do just fine in getting it all finished and done. All right. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you soon.